everyone. Welcome to the Citizen Channels. We look forward to, this is a match preview of a derby game. Manchester United versus Manchester City. Always interesting, isn't it? I sort of used to want these to end in draws, but now I just want them always to end in City wins. But hey, it doesn't always go that way, does it? But 6th November 2021, 12:30 p.m. kickoff. Yeah, some interesting stats on that later in the old quirky stats. So welcome to this little preview of this game. Of course, we'll having a quick look at United. We all know how they're doing, don't we? Know how slutchy they are. We know what they're doing. We'll have a quick look at them anyway. And of course, I'm trying to predict their starting 11. I'll try and predict ours as well. Quite an interesting one, obviously based on as well what happened in the Brugge game last night. Has anyone sort of forced his way back into Pep's thoughts for this derby? You know, I did have a team picked, and I've stuck with it. It was on my odd show as well. But there's a couple of little tiny provisos I think might change it slightly. But I'll be interested to hear what you think, guys, anyway. The match is being shown on Sky Sports. And, of course, City will have a full match replay, which hopefully will be worth watching from about either midnight or 1 a.m. and they seem to vary it, so keep your eye out for that. Who's in charge? Well, we've got Mr. Michael Oliver, haven't we? He didn't do too bad the last game big game he did for us, but this season in 13 matches, he's done 13 matches across all competitions so far this season, showing 46 yellow cards and 2 red cards, awarding 3 penalties, so he does us like a card. I mean, he's supposed to be easing off on the cards, aren't they, referees? But that's what, 46 in 13 games. That's certainly 3.5 a game, isn't it? Almost 4. That's quite a lot, and he likes his penalties. Watch the odd show about that, because United do tend to get the odd penalty against us, don't they? And perhaps we don't get as many back, but there you go. His linos are Stuart, Burton, Simon Bennett. Darren England is VAR guy this week with his assistant Dan Robotham, and the 4th official is Mr. Robert Jones. Yeah, so last time at theirs it was COVID based, wasn't it? No fans, a 0-0 thriller. Well, perhaps not a 0-0 thriller. It's quite rubbishy, really. Looking back at my match report for that one last season, I actually wrote my little quote: "A dull, drab, dreary, disappointing derby." There's alliteration for you. But on reflection, I was sort of happy with the result on paper. So there you go. Obviously, I was happy with a draw. As I said, I'm quite happy with a win these days. But on paper, I was happy with the draw. So it's interesting when I look back at these things and what you think about certain games. Our overall record, it's not that bad actually at their place in the league. This is, we've played 82 times. We've won 21, drawn 27 and lost 34. I don't think that's that bad. I mean, it's certainly a lot worse a few years back, wasn't it, before we had a reasonable run recently. But we've scored 105 goals and let 125 goals in. And please check my little History Boys feature. I've had a couple of guys saying, "Why have you done this?" It was not a great result, but it's a / horrible history, this, and I don't mind doing things on matches that didn't quite go to plan. I mean, I recently, 2 or 3 months ago, did the famous 10-0 against Liverpool, where we went to this game and we lost one game 4-0 and one game 6-0 in the space of 4 days. So I mean, I don't shy away from things like that. That's what makes us what we are, isn't it? As fans, etc., as a club, these things happen, and I don't mind actually showing them. I mean, I'd say it is what it is, guys, isn't it? And we have to accept it. It makes us better people, doesn't it? So I do those horrible histories. So please, if you get a chance to watch that United one, this History Boys feature, please do so. As I say, a bit of fun, but it's not all doom and gloom. Bit of a laugh in there as well. The odds, obviously United have gone out to 40-1 to win the league title now. Obviously City is still the favourites, despite Chelsea looking as though they might, early doors obviously, but run away with it. Who knows? But 5 points clear of us anyway. So, but United have gone out to 40-1, which is quite interesting. If you look at the match odds, no surprise, City are the favourites to win, 4-6 on. The draw is 3-1, and United to win is 7-2. So, as a United fan, I certainly wouldn't be averse to risking 50p on that, to be honest with you, because you never know. How are they doing? Well, we know on the face of it, they sit fifth. They're only 3 points behind us, slightly worse goal difference. And in the main, they sit fifth, mainly thanks to their returning talisman, of course, Ronaldo. We won't be surprised if he pops up with a goal or two against us, will we? Because again, look out for the quirky stats. Quite interesting. They have the players to harm City, of course they do, and they always do have in derbies. Derbies are one of these one-off games as well, where sometimes form does go out the window. A lot of times it doesn't. Sometimes, usually the best team wins, but occasionally that's not always so. But they do have a knack, don't they? Do have a knack of turning losses into draws and draws into victories, don't they? But and they've certainly had that luck recently, and they've certainly got it again at the moment. I think they'll be well up for this. I don't hold anything with this 5-0 Liverpool defeat. If anything, that was a bad thing for us really going forward. But that's history now. It doesn't matter. That's history. All right, they didn't have the greatest game in Atalanta again, but again they scraped a draw from nowhere, didn't they? And Ollie, it might be something in the quirky stats again, but Ollie doesn't mind facing Pep, does he? I mean, perhaps United do well despite of him rather than because of him, but there you go. He certainly has a little bit of a hoodoo against Pep, doesn't he, Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer? So we like him at the wheel, but we don't like him tormenting Pep and us too much, do we? So I'm going to go for this team for them. I've left Greenwood and Rashford on the sort of bench for this one. They were options, and I've sort of not even thought about Martial playing in this, but you never know. So I'll go for their team. If we can get 7 or 8 of this right, I'll be quite happy. Obviously, De Gea has reclaimed top spot, hasn't he? Lindelof, I think he's fit. He did pick up an injury, but apparently he's fit. It's Varane or Varane, however you pronounce it. It was a doubt, isn't it? Who probably won't play. So I've stuck at Bailey, however way you pronounce it. Harry Maguire, of course. I hope he plays and has another nightmare. Fred, Scott McTominay, Bruno Fernandes, Luke Shaw, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Edison Cavani. I've put in for the United team. Not a bad team on paper. No, you can understand why they do win games and get results, etc. It's certainly not to say it's not a team ethic, but we'll talk about that in a second. But there's not the team ethic perhaps other teams have got, but we've seen City's frailties on that basis, where we've lost our heads a little bit recently, haven't we? So there you go. That's the United thing. Just talking about City now, despite a good recent record against them at Old Trafford, we've actually lost 3 and drawn 1 of our last 4 league meetings. So that's not great, actually. And Pep, all right, he caused a bit of bother the other day by saying about important games and Brugge. I totally understand what he was talking about, and obviously he's taken out of context and people jump on him for it. But I understand what he's saying. But apart from that, it doesn't always appear to feel the importance of this one to us fans. I mean, he has obviously at Barcelona, he used to have obviously big derby clash. Well, the equivalent of a derby clash. Obviously, they're not derbies as such, is it? But these big games, he doesn't quite, for me, feel it sometimes. For what City fans feel with us, even though we say we have been sort of dominant in other ways, it is still important to us to win these games. But I'm sure with this defeat at Palace back in the league for our last game, I'm sure defeat is unthinkable for Pep here. I think Pep, I'm sure he's well zoned in on this. All right, we only have a couple of days to prepare, but I'm sure he's well zoned into what this means to us, the fans, and to the club in general. And to him, obviously, at the end of the day, it's we're just a side thing, aren't we, for him to worry about. I think when we've dominated at theirs, I think we've scored early. I think that sort of helps. So if we do get that crucial early goal, I think that will help us. But the thing is, if they get an early goal or screw up one just before half time or something like that, it's probably not right. But the amount of times that I have the feeling that United have either been given a penalty or screw up a goal just before half time in the games over the years, it just seems a lot to me. I mean, my brain might be forgetting certain things, but an early goal from them, it will be an uphill struggle unless we actually turn it round and play some of the football perhaps we did against Brugge as well, which was okay. But obviously, no disrespect to Brugge, but even United are sort of a little bit better than they are. And I think our experienced guys have to stand up for this as well. They've not been a bit. I'm looking at people like KDB, for instance. Obviously, he's still not hit form, and he's not going to hit form based on 15 minutes against Brugge, is it? We don't need any of our seasoned guys to go missing on this one. That's for sure. And we need to put in the Chelsea/Liverpool performances at Anfield and Stamford Bridge, don't we, with this one, definitely. And if we do, we'll win it, no doubt about it. But we don't want anyone going missing for this one. A much better display against Brugge for us, against a pretty average Brugge. They did work hard, but I think they're tired. I think we took advantage of that. But we did take our chances reasonably well. We hit the target a little bit more than normal, which is good. We still didn't quite hit the target on everything, but you're not going to do that anyway. And I think the movement and the running in the channels, etc., was very, very good as well. And we're getting plenty of men in the box, which was nice to see, although that's probably because of the slower build-up. I'm not too sure, or the way Brugge were playing. But I'm a bit happier with this after that Palace game, of course. A bit happy with how the team played. Oh, thinking of that, I mean, has anyone who actually started in that 11 played themselves into contention from that Brugge game? Well, I mean, Gundogan, who I've actually got in my starting 11, was quietish again. So he's a funny one. Mahrez, I haven't got him in my 11. He's a little up and down, and he didn't do enough, perhaps, even though he did obviously get his name on the score sheet, didn't he? And Brugge, I forget who scored, but yeah, even though he did things in that game. I haven't got him in the starting 11. I didn't include him. I doubt whether he's earned a place in the Derby team. Was there anyone who gave Pep a doubt, perhaps, who I had in the Derby team? I mean, I think the back five solid, isn't it? I mean, Edison and the four guys at the back. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Obviously, it's not going to be Stones and Laporte, is it? It's going to be Stones and Diaz. But I think that back four picks itself at the moment. And I think Bernardo and Rodri were solid. I don't think they did anything to say they won't be in that team. And I still believe Grealish is good enough as well. I thought Grealish played okay. Some people had a bit of a downer on him. I thought he was okay. And again, Foden was okay, not brilliant, but certainly I thought Grealish and Foden did enough to stay in that 11. And obviously KDB, who obviously came on for the 15 minutes, he's got to be a shoo-in, hasn't he? But the funny one, isn't it? I mean, one of the funny ones is Sterling, isn't it? All right, but I don't think a Sterling goal and some okay movement in the time he was on the pitch sort of warrants a call up for this game. But some people are sticking him in now. Some people are thinking that Pep's sort of, he might be on the way back. It might be a good time to stick him in. I think it's probably a little bit early. I want to see a little bit more, but hey, you never know. But say he was there to score the goal, perhaps playing a more central role. But interestingly enough, I think Pep does want Grealish to play that central role at some stage. But obviously, Grealish is still getting used to things. That's why I think people are being a little bit unkind on him at the moment. I think that's wrong. And of course, Palmer. Far too early for Palmer to get a start for this Derby game. And the guy I've not mentioned, Jesus, he's definitely my wild card. He's the one of my starting 11 I'm going to give you now. He's the one that's not in it, but I wouldn't be surprised if he is in it. And if Gundogan doesn't play, for instance, I've stuck Gundogan in the middle, but he's not been inspiring at the moment. If Gundogan doesn't play, I'd put KDB in midfield with Jesus alongside Grealish and Foden up front, to be honest with you. So Jesus is a funny one. As I said, my 11 now, I'm going to give you my 11 with that proviso, with Jesus, etc. This is a team I'm going for. I'm going for Edison, Walker, Diaz, Stones, Cancelo. Let me know your team as well, please. Rodri, Gundogan and Bernardo, as I say, but I'd be quite happy for KDB to slip back into that Rodri place. KDB to slip back into that Gundogan place. And up front, I've got Grealish, Foden and KDB. So there again, if you put KDB in the place of Gundogan, then obviously I wouldn't be averse for Jesus to be up there as well. But some people are saying Jesus, Foden and Sterling. There you go. But it's not what I'm going for at the moment. But we do need KDB. I mean, even again, KDB, he could be left on the bench. You don't know, and obviously that would then be perhaps Jesus for KDB up front, and that's the only change to that 11. He does need to step up a little bit. Rodri, obviously, he'll have a tough test, and I'm sure he'll be okay. He's got to prove his mettle once again against sort of I can imagine a numbers in midfield for United as well. So it's going to be quite important that game. But if we play as we play, we should be able to win this. So let me know what you think. Anyway, guys, it's an interesting 11, isn't it? An interesting 11 for them. I think that's, for me personally, that's one of the strongest United 11s I've seen us play for a while. So as I say, I know we do pick on them and say they're rubbish, but I think on the day, who knows? Anyway, match quirky stats before we finish. City have won 7 Premier League away games against United, the joint most of any team at Old Trafford in the Premier League history. Fantastic. Also, Liverpool with 7 wins. United have lost 7 home matches in all competitions in 2021, their most since 2001, so for 20 years, when they also lost 7. They haven't lost more than 7 at home in a single year since 1989, where they lost 8, so let's make it 8 now. That'll be good, won't it? United have conceded at least once in each of their last 13 home games in all competitions. Only twice have they had a longer run without a home clean sheet in their history. 21 games between April 58 and March 1959, and 14 between September 54 and February 55. Let's hope it continues. City have failed to score in 3 of their 10 Premier League games this season, already as many as they had, of course, in our 2021 season. However, we've never failed to score in the 12:30 Saturday kickoff slot since it became a regular fixture in the Premier League in 2016-17. So 23 games. So hey, fingers crossed we'll get at least a goal anyway. United are the only side yet to score a Premier League goal from a set piece situation this season. There's a good one. While we are one of the 2 sides yet to concede from a set. This is all from goal.com. My thanks to them, by the way. City are one of 2 sides yet to concede from a set piece. So there you go. Something might happen, something might break. Also, Wolves are the same, excluding penalties. So City and Wolves are doing well for not letting in from set pieces. Of course, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has won 4 of his 8 meetings with our old Pep in all competitions. That's the best win rate of any manager to face Pep at least 5 times. Yeah, 50% win rate. United's Ronaldo has scored 3 goals in his last 5 Premier League Manchester derbies, with his last goal in his first stint at the Red Devils coming against City in May 2009. I say, the writing's on the wall, and as long as it's a consolation and it's 4 or 5-1, I'll be quite well. I won't be happy, but I'll let him have that. But hey, interesting. City's Raheem Sterling has faced United more than he has any other opponent in his club career in all competitions. Here we go, 23. However, Sterling is yet to score against the Red Devils. He had a similar thing to Liverpool, didn't he? I don't think he played 23 games all against them, despite playing 1,662 minutes and having 38 shots, 15 on target. So he's never ever scored. So another reason perhaps to leave him out and not stick him in. Well, there you go. I have no information on Matchday Live on the City site. It's too early yet. So check that out if you're into that sort of thing. But please tune in for please push that notification button for my little match report, which will be on probably Saturday evening. Obviously, I'm not. But at this point in time, I keep looking out for a ticket, but I haven't got a ticket. But obviously, I'm going to watch the game with my lad anyway, so I'll be coming back and doing the match report. So that should be out between 6 and 8 p.m. I think on Saturday night. So keep your eyes out for that. Hopefully, it'll be a good one. It won't be too depressing. So that'll be all well and good. And please don't forget to check out my odds show on United versus City, and of course my History Boys feature, looking back at 1994 visit to Old Trafford in my United versus City History Boys stroke horrible histories feature. Say, don't worry about it. Hey, defeated. That's what it is. That's what it's been a City fan. Certainly the 90s, 80s, late 80s, 90s, 2000s. Hey, that was all about. That's what being a City fan is, and I quite enjoyed it. I quite enjoyed that time because we could have a good moan, couldn't we? And we still do now, even though we're good. But hey, there you go. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Let us know any comments. Let us know your starting 11s and what you think of that. As I say, I've tried to look at what we've got and what we've done and what makes sense for this game. But should be a good game, shouldn't it? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Whatever we're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other. So we meet here again on the Citizen channel, or perhaps have a flit across. If you want to have a little rest from football, have a look at my film and TV stuff as well. That'd be brilliant if you can do that. And all, if you don't want to have a look at that, don't worry. Come back on here. Come back to the Citizen channel. You know, I put loads of stuff out. So the international break coming up, but there'll still be a vlog a day going out. As far as I'm concerned, I never stop trying to put stuff out there for you to enjoy. Anyway, thanks for watching. I only ask one thing, don't I, guys? Please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Come on. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.